in the countdown. Dallas and Pittsburgh, they play in the Hall of Fame game, so they will begin things. So we're getting closer and closer. So we rode to camp, and we do that with Mike Tannenbaum, who joins us this morning. Alan Hahn, Monica McNutt in as well. Keyshawn J. Will and Zubin, presented by Progressive Insurance. So, Mike T., let's talk about what everybody likes to talk about, quarterback competitions. It feels like there aren't as many in the league as there tends to be, but there are some interesting ones. So let's begin in Denver. We talked to Mark Schlereth yesterday. He felt like Teddy Bridgewater had the edge and should be the guy. Drew Lock, though, we thought was their quarterback of the future. What do you see in that quarterback battle in Denver?
Yeah, I like Teddy Bridgewater short term. This is a really good defensive team. Vic Fangio has a long history of being a great defensive coach. They have good young skill players, most notably Jerry Jeudy, who they drafted last year. So I think if I'm Denver and I want to have a chance to compete this year, Bridgewater definitely has the edge. Now, I do think Drew Lock has a chance to have a good career. Athletically, he has much more upside than Teddy Bridgewater. He was a really good basketball player coming out of Missouri. I think if he went to a different school, he may have gone even higher, may have been a first rounder. So short-term Bridgewater, but I do like Drew Lock, hopefully to develop long-term for the Broncos.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we did have Mark Schlereth on the show yesterday, and he explained why he believes that Teddy Bridgewater should get the job.
I would expect Teddy Bridgewater to win that job, and there's several reasons. I mean, I think you look at Vic Fangio, he's never won a game in September. So if you don't get off to a fast start, if you don't have, consistency from that position, you're going to get fired anyhow. So, coaches love veteran players. The young players will get you fired. And they just don't know. There's still that learning curve that they're going through. And if you're a coach, you're like, hey, man, our back end is really good. Our defense should be really outstanding. We just need a guy not to turn it over and to make sure that he operates the game the way it should be operated. And I think that's Teddy Bridgewater.
We also both know, all of us know, that they could also be placeholders until a potential Aaron Rodgers trade happens, which is what everybody's expecting. The theme guys that we have here usually do is the young quarterback pushing the veteran quarterback. So with that in mind, let's go to New England. Cam Newton, Mac Jones. What do we see there, Mike?
Talk to me nice, Mike. You know where my heart is on this one.
I'm a big Cam Newton fan, and I was surprised he didn't play better last year. But when you look at what they did to help him, Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry went out and got two good tight ends. I think they're going to be in a lot of two tight end personnel. That plays to Cam's strength. It's another year off of shoulder surgery. And again, if we go back to last year, no offseason program gives him another year in the offense where obviously he probably had a big learning curve in understanding the language and the checks and the nuances to a very complicated Patriot offense. So I'm a big Cam Newton fan, and I think given what they've done in the offseason, I expect him to play better. I do like Mac Jones, but I think this is going to be Cam Newton's team this year.
But Monica, they didn't draft Mac Jones to be backup forever.
It's getting tense up there. All right, so look, our teammate, Mike T, Rob Ninkovich, who has the inside track on all things Bill Belichick and the Patriots organization, said recently that he doesn't think Cam is set up for a comeback year. In fact, when he looks at the system and what the Patriots want to do, that Mac Jones is a better fit. Mike, tell me why Rob is wrong, please. I hope. Is he wrong?
Yeah, because Monica, when he said that last week, he was in Disney World. He was distracted by his kids. Clearly, his whole analysis was off. So I think we could just summarily dismiss that. I love Nink. But look, Mac Jones, to me, is someone I liked a lot. I think he's a more athletic Matt Ryan and long-term has a chance to be a good player. But again, to me, this is about Cam Newton. And the fact that Coach Belichick re-signed Cam Newton tells me everything I need to know about his character, his work ethic, all his intangibles. And if he has another year to get healthy, this is going to be a much different offense. When Cam was successful, he had guys like Greg Olsen. And again, I'm not saying that Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry are Greg Olsen, but clearly those are the tight end position is in his comfort zone. So I expect a big improvement with Cam Newton, taking nothing away from Mac Jones.
I think everybody needs to recalibrate after getting off the teacups, so we'll give Ninkovich that. Moving on.
The spinning teacup ride, yes, your brain gets scrambled.
Can't wait to get to Disney this summer.
That's hilarious.
Let's go on to this. I really think, guys, this one is a really interesting battle, and I don't know if it's going to be a battle, like they might be presenting it this way, but Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill in New Orleans. Taysom Hill feels like, guys, that he's got like his role seems to be set, but they do want to give him the opportunity to be the starting quarterback. So, Mike T, can he win that job over Jameis Winston?
I don't think so. I love what Jameis Winston did last year. He got a graduate degree with Sean Payton, Drew Brees. He has great talent. He's only 27 years old. If he can just minimize the turnovers, he is a frontline starting quarterback. I like Taysom Hill a lot. Taysom Hill actually reminds me a little bit of Tim Tebow. He is a great athlete, but he's straight line and he's big. And what I mean by that, he's a contact runner. I just don't think the way he plays that he can withstand the rigors of what will now be a 17-game regular season. So keep Taysom Hill in that role. Give him that package. It's a meaningful one. Going back to Monica's definition of what an X factor is, Taysom Hill is a great X factor, but Jameis Winston to me is the starter in New Orleans.
Yeah, and they have to certainly give him that opportunity.
It's time for us to give him grace, give him a chance to grow up and prove it. Like, why are people struggling so much with the idea of Jameis Winston arriving sincerely and having grown up?
Well, it's demonstrated performance, right?
Right, that's what I'm
It's
saying, but here we
demonstrated performance, and we haven't seen him yet enough to believe that what we saw in Tampa is gone now. I mean, that has he been cleansed yet? We don't know, but you're certainly hoping to see it.
But
Okay, come on, Mike, help us.
yeah, the quarterback position is a developmental one. Jameis Winston is only 27 years old. I would take what he did in Tampa as a positive. He's gotten a lot of experience. I've done really well. Like, go back to Vinny Testaverde. Vinny Testaverde had an up and down career. We got him at the Jets. He took us to the championship game. There's countless examples of Rich Gannon. Look at Ryan Tannehill in Tennessee. The quarterback position is a developmental one. And I think Jameis Winston, when he went last year to New Orleans to sit behind Brees, showed tremendous humility. And I think he's going to benefit from watching for a year.
That's a great point. And you
Great
bring
point.
up Testaverde. That's another excellent one. Interceptions was a big part of his issues early on. And then once he got to you guys, cleaned that up and really never became a bigger issue again, you guys meaning with the Jets. Let's go 49ers, San Francisco. You got Jimmy G, the guy that's been there, still fairly young too, got to a Super Bowl. And then, of course, Trey Lance, who was their very high draft pick that they're excited about. Who wins that competition, Mike?
Yeah, this one's easy for me. In 2021, it's Jimmy G. And here's the speech. Like, look, at the end of this year, we all know you're going to be going someplace else. But if you play well, we have a chance to win right now. We lost more games started last year to injuries on defense than anybody else. And if you play well, we have a chance to compete right now. That helps us, and that helps you as a free agent in 2022. So it's a win-win. It's obvious. It's, you could be extremely transparent with Jimmy G, knowing that Trey Lance is the future of the 49ers.
Keep him healthy, too.
Jimmy G gets the whole season, Mike?
Good question.
If he can stay healthy, Monica, which has been a big, as we would say, X factor for him, is his durability. But, if he could stay healthy, absolutely. And I think now you're dealing from a position of strength if you're San Francisco, which is win for today with Jimmy G and then develop for tomorrow with Trey Lance.
All right, again, road to camp with Mike Tannenbaum. We got that going on right now. Talking about quarterback competitions. Again, 15 days to training camp, Cowboys and the Steelers. Then the Bucs, the Tampa Bay, the defending champs, 18 days till they open. As they, of course, the Cowboys already will have camp open. They will begin on Thursday night to open the season, Cowboys and the Bucs. And then 21 for everybody else getting ready for football. So with that in mind, Chicago.
I was about to
That's
say.
the competition I think that we're all watching, that everybody seems to have an opinion on. And if you're in Chicago, there really is a strong opinion going one way. But, of course, it's up to performance in training camp, and that is QB1, according to their social media, Andy Dalton, and their draft pick in Justin Fields that they aggressively moved up for, which really changed the outlook of that franchise. And, of course, those guys